PlayStation is absolutely desperate. They expected pushback. They expected a little bit of fan anger. They expected people to not exactly like their new way of doing things. But they did not expect this to reach almost 200 million people. Whatever they expected, this completely has broken the dam at this point. And PlayStation is honestly very much visibly desperate to fix it. They have already implemented the usage of bots. They have already paid influencers and people to say, "Oh, this is not a big deal. Physical media is bad anyway. Who wants discs?" And now they are doing the tried and true, let's buy an article from IGN. And actually, pretty much from every source of media. There's a very interesting direction of articles currently IGN and other news outlets are, for some strange reason, suddenly picking up. It's gonna be hilarious. And obviously, beyond that, we also have even Alana, Nonstop Lying, the official author behind God of Hagwall Laundry. Oh yes, she made the game. It's official. Alana made the game. She wasn't in the IDB credits for this game for some reason, but she got put in after for some reason. Whatever. In any case, even Alana now is joining the fray and saying no, that she had insider knowledge. Yes, obviously. The last time she claimed insider knowledge, she was sitting in the executive suite listening how fucking BlackRock is planning to change gaming to fit their descriptions of the world or something. Now that's not a quote, obviously. That's pretty much the level of complete obvious lies and insanity that she said she somehow was allowed to participate in. And this time, Alana has the inside scoop. And inside scoop's pretty dumb, obviously. Alana Pierce. No amount of petitions will change Sony's position on physical discs. I said this also. It doesn't matter what happens, Sony is not going to change it. The petition is useless. The only real thing that you can do is speak with your wallet and get rid of your console. Don't buy games on it, cancel your PS subscription. I did that. Well, granted, I don't own any of that stuff, but if you do, maybe it's time. Because this matters. In the grand scheme of things, I'm not going to bore you with the math, but 2 million PlayStation Plus subscriptions canceled would probably make Sony sweat some real bullets at this point. Like, that's how little you honestly need to get. I think that's very doable. I do not think petitioning and public backlash will work here. Well, it never does. Obviously, they were ready for pushback. Again, the amount of pushback, not really, but they knew it's going to happen. After the announcement was made, Sony stock climbed 7%. This is kind of funny because, again, the financial world is literally built on pixie dust at this point. Everything's just... You know how many recessions we should have been in the last 4, 5-ish years? 3. I'm not kidding, by the way. I'm not going to bore you with the details because if you don't know what has happened in the financial world, then you just don't. These words are not going to mean anything to you. But we have had literally 3 situations, 3 separate situations in less than 5 years where the world should have went in a full-blown fucking recession and it did not. It is crazy. Okay, 20 years ago, any of these events would put financing back like decades, and now we just sweep through it. So, the fact that the stock climbed 7% is literally just because the shareholders heard potential to make more money, and the facts surrounding if this is true or not doesn't even matter. It's crazy. Despite all the outrage, it was significant success. When we're going to see a decline? When we actually see the numbers. Because there is no way they have made money by doing this decision. The amount of people pissed and not supporting PlayStation is probably way more than they're going to get by that 30% of physical media or whatever. It's not going to be worth it. I don't think Sony will see consumer spending go down as a result of this news. People are financially supporting this. Alana, Alana, I know you're originally blonde or whatever. Maybe not. Who honestly cares? But have you fucking paid attention? Listen, I don't know. The narrative is crumbling all around us. Either the narrative currently is, oh, gamers don't care about physical media. And then there's this narrative that you shouldn't care about physical media. If we don't already care about physical media, then how the hell does this happen? The reality of the world is very simple. If people did not care about physical games, there would be no outrage. People would not be mad. And that's it. That's it. It's that simple. When something that no one cares happens, guess what? No one cares. And the thing can happen however it happens. But here, as we can clearly see, people do care. So, the fact that the idea is people are financially supporting this is... There's a lot of people who are still financially supporting this, but a lot of people aren't. And that's the main takeaway here. And Alana, by the way, has a full-blown video on this. That maybe is going to be a React tomorrow. And now let's get into the bot-paid articles, which are kind of hilarious, honestly. We have this IGN one. Amid the backlash, Sony decision to end production of discs for new PlayStation games from 2024. Data for the game sales in the US shows the dominance of digital in stark terms. Yes, IGN and many other news networks are now doing this absolutely abysmal try to cover up and push this fake narrative. Just 7 PlayStation games have sold over physical copies in the US this year. The article draws conclusions with incomplete context, such as data on how many games with digital and physical releases had digital sales reach over 100k sales or more this year. Effectively, they're just, again, trying to push a completely fake narrative. It's the same way that they for years, granted successfully, but now we know it was a lie, pushed it, oh, only 10% of this of the sales are physical. Well, yeah, that's because you put physical sales, games with physical sales, together with fucking Genshin Impact and Fortnite. Yeah, no wonder it's 10%. You can't even buy a physical Fortnite or Genshin Impact. But turns out for games that have physical sales for these platforms, the sales are easily from 60 to almost 80%, which is fucking insane, obviously. So no, physical is loved, heavily loved. But now all these places are running with articles like this. Also, I think IGN obviously is the most bought out platform when this comes, because IGN suddenly just decided to promote Sony's upcoming big titles, and those big titles are obviously Hag of Wall Laundry, a disaster. Remember we watched a video where the devs talked about the game, and they ended up in 20 minutes not saying a single word about the game. They just talked about their feelings and how it was and how it felt for them to make the game. You know, the stuff that you never want to hear. The giant red flag. Yeah. Marvel's Daydream. Yes. This is probably going to be garbage. It's going to be super woke, that's for sure. But granted, maybe it's going to be at least fun to press buttons. Don't know, but this at least has somewhat of a chance, honestly, even though it's woke. Enter the Galactic, the Chud Heretic Prophet. This thing is a disaster. Neil Druckmann's special fucking baby. And, you know, that's pretty much it. And IGN is running some serious cover-up for PlayStation. Then we have The Gamer. Despite Outrage, its Sony shift towards a diskless future, only 7 PlayStation games have managed more. Yes, this is effectively the same thing here. This is the same thing here. That's because probably only 7 games had the ability to do physical. Also, they can make a really low ball number for this if they feel like it, which is funny. They can say they could have also wrote only 7 games sold more than 10,000 copies. It would still be the same type of deal. And then there's this article, which is also hilarious. This is all from Eurogamer. Eurogamer is also getting that Sony money. Sony's decision to kill off PlayStation Disc could destroy the 7 billion used games market, according to analysts. Now, I know that this almost sounds like that. Oh wow, we should save this. No. This is evil and bad because it loses Sony money. This is the perspective here. It's kind of hilarious. This thing, by the way, is so fucking obvious. Even the Actman, yes, the true and real original Actman has actually cataloged a bunch of these things. I didn't look up the Kotaku article, but you know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I have already seen these articles. But yeah, it's so visible. Even the Actman is here doing this. Then we have Games Rant, which is probably my absolute favorite one, which was a day ago. They even have a small video where the PlayStation 5 is burning and PlayStation 4 is burning. A reality check for the disc debate. Oh boy. A study suggested read-only Blu-rays like PS5, PS4 game discs may only stay reliably playable for 10 to 20 years. And experts say they degenerate from day one. How do you store your collection? So, everything degenerates from day one. That's literally how the world functions, Game Radar, by the way, if you did not know. The day you are born, you are instantaneously degenerating. Not a lot, but definitely degenerating. And, I mean, 10 to 20 years? Bro! When I had a computer that had a disc opening, I still had the original Diablo 2 disc. And I installed it, and it was, believe it or not, I think it's kind of close to 20 years, and there was never a problem. So I'm not sure what kind of shit we're smoking here. But in any case, obviously this degenerate, but this is just a fluff piece for PlayStation because they don't know what to do. And while everything is doom and gloom, Valve still manages to be the good guys. I just saved this one article because it's pretty wholesome, because Valve just ends up doing a nice thing. Now, granted, they don't always do the nice thing, but it's nice to sometimes hear or see something that's kind of nice. Valve has replaced the customer's stolen Steam machine after the device disappeared just hours after it was delivered. The customer said the package was left outside their home while they were at work. America, probably. And by the time they got back, it was gone. They contacted Steam support, and Valve agreed to send them a replacement instead of leaving him without a console. Now, the Steam machine is not a console. Someone's pointing this out even in the comments. Yeah. Valve doing the good thing. Thank you, Gaben. Thank you. At this point, there was a time when I was not a fan of Valve because I thought that they're doing nothing. They're not innovating, they're not trying new things, and that's pretty much it. Now I'm kind of thankful for that. In any case, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.